Signing day is Wednesday, and we're here to preview Oklahoma's expected skill position signees. I'm here with OU recruiting writer Ryan Aber. I'm Jason Kersey. Ryan, OU's got a great receiver class, but I think we're going to start off with Keith Ford, running back, the highest ranked player in OU's class.
Yeah, he's Keith Ford, the lone running back commit right now. They had another one, Greg Bryant, out of Florida, who flipped late in the process. But Keith Ford, a big running back from Cypress Ranch, Texas, near the Houston area, had a huge senior season, a big, powerful runner, helped his team make a very deep run in the playoffs. Jason, with running back, they've got a couple guys coming back, but how quickly do you see Keith Ford having an impact?
Well, I think Keith Ford's likely going to redshirt this year. You know, they've still got Damian Williams, leading rusher, coming back. Brennan Clay really emerged finally last season as a real threat, and he's going to be back as a senior. And then they have Alex Ross and David Smith and Daniel Brooks, all guys who redshirted last season. So I think it's very likely that he would redshirt this year, but he does look like he's a very promising prospect for the future. Moving into the wide receivers, and there's a whole bunch of them. Receivers coach Jay Norvell was quite busy during December, but I'll start off with a receiver from Texas, Austin Bennett, who he got a little bit of late interest from Texas.
Yeah, Austin Bennett, Texas came in like they did with some of these other guys late. He rebuffed that. Austin Bennett's sort of been flying under the radar just because their offense that they used in Manville really didn't use the wide receivers much. They were primarily on the ground. Didn't get to see him have the huge games like we saw to Keith Ford and even some of these other wide receiver commits. Mm-hmm. But certainly no doubt that the talent is there. Now, OU's wide receiver class is obviously very deep.
Right.
How quickly do you see Bennett having an impact in Norman?
I think Bennett and all of them are guys who might have to wait a little while because they're so good. There's so many good receivers there. Jalen Saunders obviously coming back. Trey McTwire is a guy who was supposed to do great things last year, but he's going to have another shot if they get Jazz Reynolds back. And then there's Sterling Shepard. So there's a and Derek Woods, who redshirted last season.
And it's hard to forget Deron Neal.
Deron Neal, of course, who played last year some too. So there's plenty of wide receivers. I feel like that group is pretty deep. I would expect that most of these guys will have their time eventually, but I wouldn't expect too many great things early on. And then another guy, that they have coming in was kind of a late flip from Cal, Dannon Cavill. What does OU like about him?
Well, I think they like the fact that he's a big guy, can go up and make some plays. Another late bloomer guy. Got the interest late from Cal, committed there, and then OU was able to flip him with the job that Jay Norvell's done is just unbelievable. You got a chance to chat with Dannon right after he committed. How quickly do you see him have an impact?
Well, I think it's kind of the same thing. I think it might take a little while, but this is a guy who's already enrolled. He's already on campus. And he came in late, but he really was wanting that OU offer. That's the one he was waiting for last year, but he got hurt. His whole junior season he missed with an injury, so OU coaches waited a while to offer, but he flipped from Ole Miss to Cal and from Cal to OU. But like I said, he's enrolled now, and I think that he's extremely excited to be a Sooner. Another guy that OU got as a receiver, this was an early commit, and guy who's kind of bloomed as the season's gone on. No one really knew much about him. Is Jordan Smallwood from Jinx.
Yeah, he sort of came out of nowhere last year to get an offer during the summer. Pretty quickly jumped on that, decided that was where he wanted to go, and proved during the season that he certainly deserved that offer and merited the high praise that he got. I saw him play a couple times during the season with Jinx, once against PC and then again in the championship game against Norman North. Both times just made unbelievable plays. He's able to go up in traffic, bring down the ball, and make plays with his feet when he needs to. Mm-hmm. And with Jordan, we've seen some of the in-state guys have pretty quick impacts at this position.
Yeah.
Is he a guy who has a chance to make a quick breakthrough, or is he going to have to sit in this long line of receivers?
I mean, I think that right now it looks like he's probably going to have to sit a little while and wait his turn. But I mean, he definitely looks like a guy who could come in and the local receivers. Obviously, we saw Sterling Shepard last season really break through as a true freshman. And Jordan Smallwood's a guy from Jinx. First receiver, I think Alan Trimble sent to OU. So he's definitely a guy they're excited about, I think. But once again, I mean, I think it's just kind of the same deal. Another late guy that they got, KJ Young. What do you know about him?
Well, Young was a late bloomer in recruiting. He came on strong to earn an offer from the Sooners before committing in mid-January. He's a bit unpolished, but the potential is there to give the Sooners another big-time receiver from California, a little bit in the Kenny Stills mode. Mm-hmm. Is he a guy who can make a breakthrough? Or to me, he's one of the ones that gets pushed and probably needs a redshirt year.
I think so, and I think that he's a guy they're looking at maybe as a slot guy. And right now at that position with between Jalen Saunders and Sterling Shepard, there'll be plenty of time for him to kind of grow in the system and get used to everything. But last guy is kind of an odd guy to end the skill position thing with, but Jed Barnett, the punter, he's already signed, he's already on campus. With Tress Way gone, he's a guy who could come right in and compete for a job. And what do you know about him?
Yeah, absolutely. He was committed and walked on at Cal before an injury led him to taking a year off from football, wound up at Laney College in Oakland, California, had a great season there, averaging more than 41 yards per punt, was committed to Louisiana Tech. They've had the last two Ray Guy Award winners, and looked like he was heading there until Bobby Jack Wright made a late push from him, was able to get him in there, and he's, like you said, he's already on campus. It looks like he might be the guy in this group who has the biggest chance of contributing immediately.
Yeah, I mean, I think definitely, with Tress Way gone, he's a guy who could come right in and immediately have an impact. I think that's highly likely that he will. But tomorrow is signing day. Stay with the best coverage on newsok.com every day and every morning in the Oklahoman.